I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. It is so hard. You pour so much of your life into this thing. There are such rough moments in time that most people give up.
You should take the approach that you're wrong. That you, the entrepreneur, are wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong.
And it consumes your life. I mean, if you've got a family and you're in the early days of a company, I can't imagine how one could do it. I'm sure it's been done, but it's rough. I mean, because it's pretty much an 18-hour-a-day job, 7 days a week for a while.
Climbing up the mountain is a whole different level of stress because you've got this goal. You're trying to get up the mountain, right? And you've just got this single focus of trying to do it. And then when you're there, you realize that, okay, I'm there, but now everybody's trying to kick my ass. So everybody's coming after you, which is when you're chasing somebody, it's a different set of stresses than when you're being chased.
There are things that I don't enjoy, but if I'm really objective about it and I look at it, I'm so lucky to be working alongside all these passionate people, and I love it. We wake up, let's say you're the leader in a particular arena, if you're competitor focused and you're already the leader, then where does your energy come from? Whereas if you're customer focused and you're already the leader, customers are never satisfied. So if you're customer focused, you're always waking up, how can we make that customer say, wow? How can we, our energy, our passion, we want to impress our customers. We want them to say, wow, is that kind of divine discontent comes from observing customers and noticing that, things can always be better.
Unless you have a lot of passion about this, you're going to not survive. You're going to give it up. So you got to have an idea or a problem or a wrong that you want to right that you're passionate about. Otherwise, you're not going to have the perseverance to stick it through. And I think that's half the battle right there.
Most successful entrepreneurs are not waiting
for it to come to them,
for success and not waiting for progress. We are generally a little bit forward-leaning when it comes to trying to make progress happen. For me, it's about problem solving and loving to solve problems. And so if you are passionate about solving problems, sometimes I just like to describe this as like, imagine a really great math professor with no problems to solve. A great math professor is somebody who wants the hardest problems, who wants to solve them and loves solving them. That's kind of how I feel about my work. And so it's not about a man in a hurry. It's more about really interesting problems in the world and how do you lean into them and solve things that people maybe thought weren't even possible to solve, and that's fun.
if you want to give, the KPI to your people, it should be very specific. Then people know it's serious. 102 years that we were born in 1999, Alibaba. So last century we had 1 year, and this century we want to have 100 years. Next century, 1 year. 102 cross 3 centuries. So very specific. So in our company, we never talk you're successful or not, because we think there are 86 years. Next 86 years, there are many chances that fail. So that's why we say, don't talk about you're successful.
The more prepared you are, the less risk there is. Most people think, I'm just going to wing it, and that's why it's risky.
Part of being ourselves is sort of reimagining the way things could be done. So we like to take the impossible, we like to take the old way of doing things and just completely change it. That's part of who we are.
Think about anti-corruption and rule by law is laying a great foundation for the market economy. You don't want to go do business by bribery. You don't want to have an unfair environment. The market economy is by rule by law. The market economy is about clear, transparent, and fair. And don't worry about the things the president is worried about. Worry about the things that nobody worry about.
All day long, you're going to have moments where your thoughts drift, and I use that word on purpose. You start to wake up to your life. Just start worrying about stuff. Why? Because it's a habit. Because when you're not paying attention, your brain shifts from you being a decision maker and paying attention to you just kind of spinning things on autopilot, and one of your habits is worrying. Now what you're going to do, because your mind is actually ready to receive a different thought because of the counting, now you can put in an anchor thought. In some instances, trying to force yourself to think positive can actually make the worries worse. Well, the reason why is because it's really hard to just change the channel. What we have to do first is basically interrupt it and turn off the TV, and then turn it back on with the prefrontal cortex awakened. You catch yourself talking garbage to yourself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch it back. Get back to that vision that you have about toasting your success, or this customer being really happy, or you being proud of yourself.
Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals, life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. Remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress.
Success is all in your DNA, and I would challenge you to live up to it. It is so much easier to run. It is so much easier to give up. It is so much easier to quit, give in. I dare you to believe in yourself. I dare you. I dare you to be courageous enough to deal with the real you and let the world see that unique, that gifted, that special person. You be you and don't be nobody else. And you stop letting you get off the hook. You stop letting you get off the hook.
It's as if they're standing at the foot of a mountain and they have this abstract concept called impact that they want to have in the world, which is the summit. What they don't see is the mountain. I don't care if you go up the mountain quickly or slowly, but there's still a mountain.
What many people don't realize about the world is that growth is a goal in itself. It's one of the key things that drive us forward as human beings, but very few people write down growth. It's crazy, we associate money with happiness, but often the most beautiful experiences in life require no money. Almost any human being today can fall in love, can make a baby. These are some of the most profound experiences I've had. So the first thing is you make a list of your experiences. Now the second thing is you ask yourself this question: how do I have to grow? We crave growth. Human beings are growth-driven machines.
You are responsible for your life. And if you're sitting around waiting on somebody to save you, to fix you, to even help you, you are wasting your time, because only you have the power to take responsibility to move your life forward. What matters is now, this moment, and your willingness to see this moment for what it is, accept it, forgive the past, take responsibility, and move forward.
If you want to be happy, make other people happy.
Yeah, I guess maybe you don't have it.
The most powerful motivational speeches that I have ever heard came from people who told me I couldn't do something. You know why? Because when they told me I couldn't do it, I was bound and determined to show them that I could. Tell me I can't do it. I will prove you wrong. I will show you that you're mistaken. You have chosen the wrong one to tell that they can't do something. Because I believe, and this is real important, I can't, will thwart you, will stop you, will slow you down, will turn you around and cause you to move backwards if you let it. But if you have the proper mindset, I can't, will do nothing but make you that more determined to get to your goal.
Most of the people that have no dreams will wake up every day trying to talk you out of your dreams. They have no goals. They have nothing that they're ambitious about. So they will talk you out of all the shit that you're excited about. It's really not expected of them to support you and have your back anyway. They life ain't shit. And if you're trying to do something with your life, they're gonna try and figure out a way to shut you and your plans down as well.
Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you. How many predictions have been thrown at you your whole life? If you believe predictions that do not empower you, you will wither away and die. Either physically die or your spirit will die as you just walk around the world like a carcass that is just following the masses. When we feel like we're not enough, we chase external validation and external objects to try to tell us we're enough.
To stop caring about other people's opinions, you have to move into your true authenticity, which has nothing to do with someone else's standards or values. It's only about how you perceive yourself. Every hero needs a villain. Without a villain, there is no blockbuster movie, I'm sorry. So, in our life, there's always someone we say is holding us back, holding us down, being a burden. So, we call them the villain. But you see, without the so-called psychopath or villain, would we be where we are today? You see, they serve as the catalyst for helping us become our greatest version. But to reclaim your power 100%, you have to start tapping into your inner villain. You see, the greatest enemy is not out there. The greatest enemy is inside of yourself.
There's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. We have the power to change our personal history, changing the direction of our lives, changing our thoughts, changing where we want to go, exploring new horizons. So as you begin to look at this decade and affirming that this is your decade, as you set goals that will make you stretch, that will bring out the best in you, as you begin to remove the negative, toxic people from your life, as you decide to take some chances in life, and that's one of the things that's very important. This God said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best. And if you cannot become your best, you cannot be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there?
The number one reason people fail is broken focus. You gotta keep your mind on your dreams. Stay focused. Your eyes on the prize. Focus. Stop worrying about what everybody else is saying or doing. Get up every morning and grind. Every moment that you're worried about the opinions of others is a second that you're losing. Stop talking and let your grind be your response. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Every second of the day, I live and do what it takes to be a champ. Stay focused. I refuse to be distracted by things that don't move me toward my dream. Many people can handle the physical aspect of the game. It's that mental part that separates the champions from everyone else. You see, each level that you go up, you start out in Pee-wee, then you move to middle school, then high school, and then D1, and then to the pros. Each level you climb, the distractions will increase. Greatness is about execution. What separates the average players from the legends is the legends can consistently, no matter what is going on around them, can find that focus on the inside and consistently deliver. There's a lot of you out there listening to me right now, and I want to say this to you. You have the talent, but to go to that next level, the thing that everything hinges on is whether you can master your mind or not. That's the key. You've got to master your mind. You got to stay focused, block out the chatter, put on the blinders, and keep your eyes on the prize. Stop listening to the critics. Their opinion does not determine your destiny. What does is your work ethic, your grind, your focus, your determination, your faith, your perseverance, and that will that says, I am a champion. Stay focused and execute. The more overwhelmed you feel, the more complicated things seem to be, the more you must break it down into small, manageable pieces. Whenever you get lost, whenever you face a setback, the thing to do is to go back to basics. You take it one thought at a time, one play at a time, one rep at a time, one set at a time, one day at a time. Success is a marathon of consistency walked out one day at a time. Allocate every second, every minute of your day to your dream. They say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to achieve mastery in any given field. 20,000 to be a legend. General George Patton said, you must be single-minded. Drive for the one thing that you have decided. What do you want in life? What separates champions from the rest is how they respond when life sucker punches them in the face. They never consider laying down. They get up. They arise because they're champions. They find a way to regroup. They find a way to refocus. They keep their eyes on the goal and they execute. Stay focused is the million-dollar question. What are you going to do today to improve your life? Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Julio Jones, Tom Brady, Michael Phelps. These guys can stay focused when the lights come on. The critics, the news, the scandals, the rumors, it doesn't matter, they still perform. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee. Stay focused. A disciplined mind, rooted in truth, can do the impossible, whether it's business, arts, music, writing, film, sports, whatever it is. There's truth, principles that govern the laws of success in every field. Massive success requires massive focus. You gotta focus on these things, the things that really matter. You gotta practice them over and over until you can do them when the lights come on. Our lives are the fruit of our most consistent thought patterns. It's all connected. Everything you do is filtered through your belief system. When you change your mindset, everything else in your life will change as well. Being a champion isn't just about the trophies. It's a winning mindset that you filter every aspect of your life through. You don't want to be just a champion on the field or on the court or in the weight room. You want to be a champion in your finances, in your relationships, in your business, in your art, in your music. Whatever you do, it's the same mindset. Different fields might have different techniques to be successful, but the one thing that is consistent is the mindset. It doesn't matter the field. Champions speak the same language. They understand each other. Successful people filter every aspect of their life through empowering belief systems. Every minute of your time should be harnessed, leveraged, and held accountable to your success. The one thing that your future hinges on is your level of focus. Can you stay focused long enough to let that greatness on the inside of you shine? Blessed and unstoppable.
If you're watching, do that right now. Take out a piece of paper, 3 columns. Top of the first column, you're going to write down experiences, right? And ask yourself, what experiences do I want to have? Who do I want to wake up with? What type of house do I want to live in? What countries do I want to visit? What type of family life do I want? What dog do I want? The beautiful thing about experiences is often they don't require that much money. It's crazy. We associate money with happiness, but often the most beautiful experiences in life require no money. Almost any human being today can fall in love, can make a baby. These are some of the most profound experiences I've had. So the first thing is you make a list of your experiences. Now the second thing is you ask yourself this question: how do I have to grow? We crave growth. Human beings are growth-driven machines. How do I want to grow? How can I learn to be a better father, a better spouse, a better lover? What languages do you want to learn? Do you want to learn a musical instrument? Do you want to learn to write? Do you want to learn to play a particular sport or learn a particular skill? What many people don't realize about the world is that growth is a goal in itself. It's one of the key things that drive us forward as human beings, but very few people write down growth. Now you have two lists, your experiences and your growth. Now you ask yourself the third question, and the third question is this: to be that man or woman who has all of these experiences, to be that man or woman who has grown in such a way, how can I give back to the world? If you want to be happy, make other people happy. You've learned entrepreneurship? Great, mentor someone, mentor a kid who wants to get there. You have the ability to sing, figure out how to use it to deliver, beautiful music, to inspire people. So your list of contributions becomes your steps for you to give back to the world, because that takes you beyond pure happiness into fulfillment. Now, when you have this list, experiences, growth, and contribution, this becomes your goal list. Everything else is just a means goal. The rules of the culturescape, and figure out shorter paths towards true human fulfillment.